Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the University of West Florida's Spring 2013 Commencement Ceremony. We present to you our processional, led by our University Marshal, Dr. Jill White, followed by the University of West Florida faculty. And now, the graduating class of 2013, beginning with the Doctor of Education graduates. The Educational Specialist graduates. The Master's graduates from the College of Professional Studies. The master's graduates from the College of Business. The baccalaureate graduates from the College of Professional Studies. Just the doctorals.
I think they call their names some of those cards.
check with the baccalaureate graduates from the College of Business. We now present the platform party. Please rise for the platform party. Once again, please recognize the college graduating class of 2013.
The national anthem will then be sung by the university singers. Please remain standing for the posting of the colors by the Air Force ROTC. Please be seated. Today, the University of West Florida is celebrating its 80th commencement since the first students were enrolled in 1967. On behalf of the University of West Florida Board of Trustees, I bring greetings and congratulations to the graduates and to their families. Today, your scholarly pursuits are realized. Your hard work, commitment, and perseverance culminate as you walk across this stage to receive your degree. Yet, your diploma is more than a piece of paper. It symbolizes a lifetime of opportunity. It shows your choice of a great institution, one that has your best interest at heart. It symbolizes your tenacity, your preparedness for the challenges of life, and your entrance into a scholarly realm. As trustees, we're dedicated to make certain that your degree from the University of West Florida continues to grow in value. And each of you play a significant role in enhancing that lasting value. Today is the end of your degree earning experience, but the beginning of you representing your alma mater in all that you do. Enhancing a university is the work of all of us. Trustees chart the course along with the president and administration, and faculty pursue the best possible teaching and learning experiences for students and advance knowledge and understanding. So today, you will begin to play a new role in this process. I truly hope that you'll feel an obligation to your fellow alumni to make good on the promise of UWF through your life and your work. I hope that you'll be like Dr. Mike Summers, today's commencement speaker, who got his degree from UWF and is now working on a cure for HIV along with current UWF students and alumni. Or like Suzanne Lewis, who also got her start here at UWF and went on to be the superintendent of Yellowstone National Park. Suzanne has returned here to her alma mater to serve on our Board of Trustees. You see, the value of a UWF degree is defined by your collective work as institutional leaders and contributors, just as much as the life's work of our alumni. Today, we join as partners in this noble quest. Education changes lives. Every one of you is changed for the better. Just as your university has changed and grown during your time here, so have you. It's our hope that you will continue to dedicate yourself to embodying the finest spirit of a UWF graduate as you move forward. Congratulations. It's now my honor and pleasure to present to you the President of the University of West Florida, Dr. Judy Benz.
Thank you, Louis. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your commencement. A university commencement is a special occasion. It's special because it tells the story of a university, the people that emerge from it tell the history, the story, and make up the entity of a university. Today, the history of UWF is told with the story of what you were when you came to UWF, what you are now, and what you will become. Each of you has a special place in UWF history. As Trustee Bear says, we are in the business of transforming lives by providing you with a quality education which will serve you for a lifetime. You are different than when you arrived here. You're wiser, you're stronger, you're more tried, you're more true. You have an education that will open doors and opportunities that were never before realized. Today, you will add to the history of your alma mater, but that is just your beginning. We are growing the University of West Florida, and you've heard me say that before, but it takes on a special meaning at commencement. When I say that we are growing an institution, I'm not simply talking about enrollment. I mean the concept of the University of West Florida, how we see ourselves just as much as how others see us. Universities are large and complex organizations. They only become larger and more complex as they advance and mature, making bigger contributions to the regions they serve and becoming more essential to the economies in which they are enlaced. At UWF, we have come to understand the challenges and opportunities of institutional growth and maturity through the experience of it. We are young. We're only 44 years old, and like every young adult, sometimes we take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. But every single day, we continue to invest in providing a high-quality academic programs, expanding our opportunities for our students, and trying to enhance our region through the products of higher education. Like Trustee Bear said, it is hard work to grow and advance a university. It requires dedicated teachers and scholars who go to bed tired at night because they are wholly committed to ensuring that you have access to the best learning experiences that our resources will allow. It requires a dedicated staff that works tirelessly to ensure that all parts of the university run in a way that best serves our students and our community. It requires a dedicated executive leadership who work endlessly to ensure we act strategically, that we gain new resources on a regular basis, that we invest those resources wisely, and remain true to our values. It takes a visionary board of trustees to ensure that the timeless traditions of higher education are honored, advanced, and celebrated. It takes community partners because we can't do it alone. And most importantly, it requires a history of students that work hard, take their work seriously, and are focused on transforming their own lives through the products of their work and their education. I think that describes UWF students very well. UWF has all the essential components for institutional success. For you as graduates, you do not stop sharing in that success today. Today, you become an essential part of it. The contributions you will make in your work and your life as servant leaders, professionals, entrepreneurs, public officials, and community leaders will shape your story and the history of your UWF. You are the future of our institutional history. Nearly 50 years ago, University of West Florida emerged quietly from the woods of Pensacola. And just like commencement, it was a beginning, not an end. We will all write the future of this institution and what it means to Northwest Florida. Together, I want to thank you, graduates, for being part of the University of West Florida now and forever. Congratulations. Now, at this time, I'd like to introduce to you the members of our platform party. Platform party members, when I say your name, would you please stand and remain standing? And I would ask the audience to please hold your applause until all the platform party have been announced. First, I would like to introduce our Board of Trustee members. Mr. Louis Baer, who is the chairman of our board. Mr. Mort O'Sullivan, who is the vice chairman of our Board of Trustees. Ms. Pam Dana, Mr. Bob Jones, our newest trustee, Reverend Lou Timothy May, Ms. Cora Merritt, Ms. Susan O'Connor, and Mr. Jay Patel. Other platform guests are Dr. Martha Saunders, our new Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Kevin Bailey, the Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Kim Brown, Vice President and Chief of Staff, Dr. Kyle Marrero, Vice President and University Advancement, Dr. Susan Stevenson, Vice President for Business, Finance, and Facilities, Dr. Richard Podemsky, Dean of the Graduate School, Dr. Ed Rinelli, Dean of the College of Business, Dr. Kim O'Keefe, Associate Dean of the College of Business, Dr. Carl Backman, Assistant Dean, College of Business, Dr. Tom Westcott, Dean of General Studies, Dr. Karen Rasmussen, Associate Dean, College of Professional Studies, Dr. Kim Tatum, Assistant Dean, College of Professional Studies, Mr. Bob Dugan, Dean of the Libraries, Ms. Susan Shaw, Director of the Emerald Coast Campus, Dr. Jill White, University Marshall, Dr. Michael Summers, Professor of Chemistry and alumnus, Mr. Bruce Cheese, Ambassador at Large, Destin, Florida, Dr. Christy Abston, Reader, Dr. Richard Huff, Reader. Let's give everyone in the platform party a big hand. Thank you. Today, we are awarding a UWF Presidential Medal. This honor was created just last year to recognize, as a way to recognize those who have distinguished themselves by their actions and have contributed in some manner to the well-being of the university and the geographical region. The award provides opportunities for the university in building friendships and honoring service in our region. Today's recipient, Mr. Bruce Cheeves, has long-standing service within the UWF service region. In fact, because of his service, October the 16th is known as Bruce Cheeves Day in Destin, Florida. He promotes the city's heritage and gives of his time and talents to the luckiest fishing village in the world. Mr. Cheeves has given more than 7,000 hours of service over a span of 25 years as he serves as the official weighmaster, host, and MC of the Destin Fishing Rodeo. Without fail, from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day in October, rain or shine, Bruce graciously welcomes thousands of locals and visitors alike to the daily event. He entertains and educates on fishery facts, maritime history, tales, and even local legends. Like an elder passes down knowledge of a family's history to younger generations, Bruce Cheeves is keeping Destin's fishing history and heritage alive through his role at the annual rodeo. The nominator for this award said, "To most, he is the face and character of the iconic Destin Fishing Rodeo. In fact, people come from all across the country and all across the nation each year just to see Bruce and hear his interesting stories, facts, and his commentaries. They sit in the bleachers day after day, year after year, to listen to Bruce and then witness the weigh-ins. He has made programs that introduce and promote fishing among kids, particularly those from disadvantaged situations, a hallmark focus of his work. He is such a Destin institution that in 2010, the city honored him by proclaiming October 16th, Bruce Cheeves Day. His knowledge of the Gulf, habitats, and the fish, their Latin and common names, and how they got those names, various world records, as well as recollection of local history, legends, and dockside personalities are deep and impressive. His service to the Destin community is unsurpassed and worthy of recognition. Today, we recognize Mr. Bruce Cheeves for his service to our region. The university commends him for his service and honors him today with the Presidential Medal. Mr. Cheeves, please accept our award. There, sorry. Excuse me for fumbling.
Thank you, Bert.
You're very welcome. You bet. Now I'd like to introduce our guest speaker today, your commencement address speaker. Dr. Michael Summers is a 1984 alumnus of the University of West Florida's chemistry program. He got his start right here, just like you graduates today. Yet, Dr. Summers has gone on to achieve national prominence in his work. Dr. Summers is currently a professor of chemistry at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. As a Howard Hughes medical investigator, Dr. Summers' scientific research efforts are aimed at understanding how retroviruses, specifically HIV, assemble and how they specifically recognize and package their genetic material. He has published in top quality journals and has significant grants from the National Institute of Health and the Howard Hughes Medical Institute, including a 10-year NIH Merit Award. Dr. Summers has won national scientific awards, including a Young Investigator Award from the Protein Society, Excellence in Research Award from the University of Maryland System Regents, White House Presidential Award for Science, Engineering and Math Mentoring, and the American Association of the Advancement of Science Mentor of the Year Award, just to name a few. Dr. Summers' research has definitely achieved a level of international distinction. Dr. Summers is certainly acclaimed in his profession. However, let me tell you about another passion of his, one that makes him incredibly special to the University of West Florida. He is a tireless advocate for the Meyerhoff Scholars Program. This program has the goal of increasing diversity among future leaders in science, technology, engineering, and math-related fields. One nominator said the program he developed has become so successful in producing PhD-level scientists of color that it has produced the greatest number of any single higher education entity in the country. Dr. Summers stays connected to his alma mater, UWF, in many ways, but it is incredibly special when a prominent alumnus identifies a UWF student to study and research right alongside him in his labs. Dr. Summers has done just that. In fact, he is currently working with Mr. Joshua Brown, a recent UWF alumna, and now an MD, PhD student at the University of Maryland, Baltimore, to try to discover a cure for HIV/AIDS. As a result of his inspiration, UWF's chemistry department established the Chemistry Scholars Program, modeled after the Meyerhoff Scholars Program at UMBC. Dr. Summers has used his contacts to network our chemistry department with internationally renowned outreach and education divisions at the Howard Hughes Medical Institute and the National Institute of Health. The Chemistry Scholars Program currently has 64 participants, and 19 are underrepresented minority students. 3 of the Chemistry Scholar students of color were awarded scholarships through the American Chemical Society Scholars Program. These are the first UWF students to ever receive national recognition from the ACS Scholars Program. Dr. Michael Summers impacts lives. He embodies UWF's values. He is an exemplary UWF alumnus and scholar. He has been so consistently publicly grateful for the life-changing education he received at UWF that he has set up a scholarship fund in the name of his UWF mentor, Dr. Jerry Gerst. Please welcome Dr. Michael Summers.
Wow, as a former graduate sitting in your chair 33 years ago, I can't believe I'm up here. Let me start by thanking President Judith Benz and Dean Jane Hallinan for giving me the opportunity to participate in today's commencement. I'd also like to thank Dr. Michael Huggins and the faculty of the chemistry department for allowing me to continue to participate with them over the years as an active alumnus. I particularly want to express gratitude to the former faculty at West Florida that provided the mentoring and education that I received when I was a student here back in the late 70s. Dr. Birdwhistle taught me physical chemistry, and he used to come up to Maryland and stay with me and my wife when he was researching his family origins. I learned during one of his visits before he passed away that he survived 2 U-boat torpedoings during World War II, one in which he was blown off his ship and into rough seas in the North Atlantic. He got his education after the war and went on to found the chemistry department at West Florida, hiring a small group of faculty that would go on to inspire thousands of students and help set high standards for the fledgling university. I did my first real research with Dr. Grace Chu. She was a tough but caring professor who sometimes would bring her violin into work so we could play duets in the evening. We sounded horrible, but it was fun. I was inspired to produce graduate research in bioinorganic chemistry by Professor Tanner. I wasn't happy when Dr. Gerst threw me out of organic chemistry laboratory for wearing flip-flops, but I appreciate the fact that I still have all my toes. Dr. Gerst gave up several weekends to drive me and other West Florida students around the country to visit graduate schools. And more recently, he even flew up to UMBC to help celebrate my 50th birthday. West Florida chemistry alumni have contributed significantly to a scholarship fund that honors Dr. Gerst's commitment to excellence. I used to think that the faculty at West Florida were all workaholics, but now I understand that teaching wasn't just a job to them, but a passion. They cultivated relationships with their students that lasted the rest of their lives. We became like family. All of the chemistry faculty that were here in the 70s have retired, and there's now a new group pushing education excellence to an even higher level. They're critically examining teaching practices and looking for creative ways to retain students who start college with an interest in science. All students, regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, or economic status. Over the past several years, I've had the opportunity to watch Dr. Huggins, Mollick, and Vaughn as they work to develop programs broadly aimed at retaining all students, including women and underrepresented minority students, in science, technology, engineering, and math, which is collectively called the fields of STEM. Did you know that in the US, 75% of high school valedictorians are girls? Although more women are earning STEM bachelor's and PhD degrees in the US, they still make up only a small fraction of the faculty in our colleges and universities. I have a daughter who is about to graduate with a degree in chemical engineering from one of the largest universities in the country, and she hasn't taken a single math course by a female professor or a single science or engineering course by a female full professor. Our young women need role models who look like them and have similar life experiences. UWF has a new program funded by the National Science Foundation called Advance that focuses exactly on this issue. Graduates, you should feel good knowing that years from now, when you are sitting in the stands and your daughters are sitting in your seats, their experiences will be even better than yours. The same is true for underrepresented minorities. When I was a student at West Florida in 1978, none of my chemistry classmates were African American or Latino. 2 years ago, Dr. Mollick and her colleagues established a chemistry scholars program that supports students of all backgrounds and races that are interested in working together as a supportive cohort. The program started with 4 minority and 8 majority students, and in just 2 years has grown to include 29 underrepresented minority students. Of the 8 scholars who are graduating today, 7 are from underrepresented groups and 6 are matriculating directly to chemistry PhD programs. This is unprecedented. Let me tell you about one of your recent graduates. It was alluded to earlier. It's Joshua Brown. Joshua was one of the first African-American chemistry scholars at West Florida, and as a freshman, he aspired to be a cable TV technician. By the time he was a junior, he was thinking about medical school. After conducting research at West Florida and in my lab one summer at Maryland, he decided to apply to PhD programs. These are extraordinarily competitive programs. Most medical schools don't even have MD PhD programs, and though that's due, typically only select a few students per year. Not only do MD PhD students get a free education, they actually get paid to go to medical and graduate school. That's how important this kind of education is in the US. Josh scored in the top 1% on the National Medical Entrance Exam and was admitted to every MD PhD program he applied to, including some of the most prestigious and selective programs in the country. Josh's story is not that much different from my own. I spent considerable time on my grandparents' dairy farm in Wisconsin when I was young, and I had dreams of becoming a farmer. But with encouragement from my parents and inspiration from a community college chemistry instructor, I became interested in chemistry. And at West Florida, new doors were opened and my dreams became a reality. I think this is what makes the University of West Florida so special. Students are provided with opportunities they probably didn't realize existed or were attainable to them when they first started college. Education is critical to our development, not only as individuals, but as a society. And as a society, we do have much to celebrate. Over the past 50 years, our nation has gone from 10% to 25% college educated. Major new federal laws enacted in the 60s reflected values we considered critical in our country: to vote, to have basic rights, and to provide opportunities for all Americans to get an education regardless of race, gender, or economic status. As a result of the Higher Education Act, college-going rates increased dramatically in the U.S. from 2% of the black and 11% of the white populations in the late 50s to 17% of the black and 32% of the white populations today. In addition, 11% of the Hispanic and 55% of the Asian populations in the U.S. pursue a college education. While it's good to acknowledge this progress, we must also be aware that there is still much work to be done. For every 100 ninth graders, only 67 will graduate from high school in 4 years. Only 26 are still in college after 2 years, and only 18 graduate from either a 2-year college within 3 years or a 4-year college within 6 years. In addition, for the first time since the middle of the 20th century, we cannot claim that each successive generation of Americans will be better educated than the preceding one. In fact, America is one of the few nations among free market countries where the percentage of citizens holding college degrees is not continuing to rise. To the parents who are here today, how many of you are between the ages of 39 and 64 years old? You are among the most educated human beings on earth, second only to Canada. The next group, 25 to 34 years old, however, is now ranked 7th in the world. Education needs to be a central part of our value system as individuals, as families, and also as a nation. And as the demographics in our country continue to change and we become more diverse, we need to ensure that higher education is readily available to all our citizens. As I stand here before you, it is hard for me to believe how quickly time has passed. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the parents here today didn't also graduate with me back in the spring of 1980. Is this true? Wouldn't shock me, yeah. To all of you parents, remember when you were in high school or college? And all of a sudden, here you are with your children as they graduate from college. How many of you students can remember when you were in middle school? And all of a sudden, here you are as college graduates. These are exciting times. And as you move on from West Florida to pursue advanced studies and careers, each of you will have opportunities to help solve the great challenges that our world now faces in healthcare, energy, the environment, national security, business, education, and numerous other areas. Hopefully, your careers will become more like hobbies than jobs. I often wake up in the early hours of the morning and can't go back to sleep because I can't stop thinking about our latest experiment or discovery. But as you pursue your careers, each of you will also have opportunities to reach out and help others. My grandmother passed away a few years ago, and I remember sitting in my office and realizing that if I knew I wasn't going to be around tomorrow, I probably wouldn't sit and reread my science papers. Instead, I probably would reread the letters and emails that I've gotten from students and parents over the years who wrote to thank me for the opportunities that I was able to provide. Einstein himself advised us on how we should treat each other. In a 1946 article on race relations in the U.S., he wrote, and I quote, "A large part of our attitude towards things is conditioned by opinions and emotions which we unconsciously absorb as children from our environment. In other words, it is tradition, not inherited aptitudes and qualities, which makes us what we are. We but barely reflect on how relatively small, compared with the powerful influence of tradition, is the influence of our conscious thought upon our conduct and convictions." He further states, "It would be foolish to despise tradition, but with our growing self-consciousness and increasing intelligence, we must begin to control tradition and assume a critical attitude toward it. If human relations are ever to change for the better, we must try to recognize what in our accepted tradition is damaging to our fate and dignity and shape our lives accordingly." And finally, fellow West Florida graduates, let me just say this. Savor this moment. Take the time to celebrate with your family and friends and the people who worked hard to help get you here, because today really is special. Congratulations, class of 2013.
Thank you, Dr. Summers. We couldn't be more proud. Now I'd like to introduce our SG Student Government Association President and Board of Trustee member, Cora Merritt, who will bring greetings to our graduates.
To our trustees, who have always had the best interests of the University of West Florida in mind. To our visionary administrators, who enhance the value of our degrees. To our esteemed faculty and staff, who encourage us to challenge the process and prepare for the future. To our dedicated staff, who shape our student life. To our family and friends, who give us unconditional love and support. On behalf of this graduating class, thank you. Thank you, because without each of you, we would not be here today. And to you, the graduating class of Spring 2013, the Argonauts who mark a milestone in their lives today, congratulations. I share your excitement as I graduate with you all. Today marks a special moment in our lives and a special moment in time. 2013, 20 friends we cherish, 20 exams that required an all-nighter, 20 moments that will live on forever in our hearts, and 20 ways we made the most of our college experience and beyond. And the number 13, not an unlucky number for my fellow graduates of the University of West Florida's class of 2013. Celebrate with us our achievements. Now, let's commemorate this special occasion. I'm Cora Merritt, and I had the honor of serving the Argonauts as SGA president this year. Thank you for allowing me that honor, and thank you for allowing me the honor of speaking today. Take the time to reflect on the journey that brought you here today, to this special moment in time. We may always remember landmark events such as orientation, move-in day, and commencement, but it's all the moments in between that made all the difference and will shine bright. I would like to mention some unforgettable moments in the time that led us here to begin together our future as UWF alumni. These special memories include the people we met, the changes we witnessed, and the reality of the future we face. When you think of the past 4 years, what stands out the most? Through the highs and lows, one continuous thread of each experience involves people. You will always remember the people. Through each person you met, whether it be a frustrated student spending their food allowance for the month in the bookstore, or the roommate you never quite understood. What about the professor who helped you find your passion or specialized field of study? Or the lifelong friends you may have made in a student organization or throughout your major coursework. These are some of the people you will remember. Think of your personal achievements and think of UWF's achievements. From our national championship women's soccer team, to our national championship baseball team, to our men's tennis team who is well on the way. Whether on the soccer field, the baseball field, or the basketball courts, we have so many reasons to be proud to be an Argonaut. UWF athletics and UWF academics are creating champions for life. Think of our intriguing city, the upside of Florida, Pensacola. From cheering on the Blue Wahoos to soaking up the sun on our beautiful beaches. Whether you're staying or exploring new waters, we can reflect on Pensacola fondly. Think of how UWF is expanding and the impact you all had in these decisions. There are notable expansions such as the addition of a PhD program in physical therapy, the addition of women's swimming and diving, and the details of UWF's master plan, which are truly exciting. UWF has come so far, just like each of us. Be proud. Think of the legacy of the class of 2013. The people we met are people we influenced. Increased school spirit and increased concern for our community are respected contributions of the class of 2013. Our legacy will be our future impact on the local, state, and national scene, combined with our Argo pride that will always bring us back to UWF. Now, let's take a moment to think of the future. Recent local and national events remind us that life is fragile. As we mourn the sad loss of fellow Argos and the victims of the Boston bombing, we remember to appreciate life and the ones we love with every passing day. In the words of C. Joy Bell, a lifetime isn't forever. So take the first chance, don't take the second one, because sometimes there aren't second chances. And if it turns out to be a mistake, so what? This is life, a whole bunch of mistakes. But if you never get a second chance, it's something you didn't take a first chance at, that's a true failure. The following are more words of advice I have gathered from our Pensacola and campus community. I encourage you to consider each as we seek to make the most of our lifetime, a lifetime that is just beginning. Take chances. Seek happiness in our career choice. Never stop learning. Whatever you do, do it with passion. Find humor when it seems the most unlikely. Don't put so much pressure on yourself that you neglect to explore your possibilities. Be mindful of our planet, energy resources, and remember, we are proud residents of the earth. And finally, never lose sight of personal happiness. If you're not happy, what's the point? Finally, in the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, all life is an experiment. The more experiments you make, the better. Today is about remembering, appreciating, and celebrating our experiments through the blue and green Argo waters of UWF, our alma mater. Our experiments were unforgettable because of the people that made a difference, our personal growth, and the positive changes around campus. And now, the reality of our future leaves us with inspirational challenges and a hope of a more promising tomorrow. Thank you, and go Argos.
How about we hand out some diplomas now? Okay, let's do that. So I now take the pleasure of presenting to you Dr. Richard Podemski, the Dean of the Graduate School, for the presentation and hooding of UWF Spring 2013 Doctor of Education, Education Specialist, and Master's degree. Dr. Podemski.
It gives me great pleasure to announce the Spring 2013 doctoral graduates. Will the Doctor of Education graduates please rise along with their advisors? Madam President, these candidates have been approved and recommended by their faculties to receive their respective doctoral degrees upon completion of all requirements. Will the Marshal escort the candidates forward?
Dr. Karen Rasmussen, Dissertation Advisor, please come forward. Dr. Rasmussen will be hooding the following students. Dr. Anthony P. Catanese, Dissertation title, United States Navy Healthcare Providers' Attitudes and Satisfaction Toward the Usability of the Navy's Primary Learning Portal and Learning Management System. Dr. Edith Janae Burkhart, dissertation title, Facebook Use and Engagement of College Freshmen. Dr. Wendy L. Payne, dissertation title, Motivating Factors of Florida Community and State College Information Technology Faculty. Dr. Patricia Ann Posey Goodwin, dissertation title, Exploring Preferences of Mentoring Activities Among Generational Groups of Registered Nurses in Florida. Dr. Byron Havard, dissertation advisor, please come forward. Dr. Havard will be hooding the following students. Dr. Roger Kroll, dissertation title, Threaded Discussion Instructional Strategies and Student Performance. Dr. James Lee Hale, dissertation title, Secondary Teacher Self-Efficacy and Technology Integration. Dr. Keith Winery, Dissertation Advisor, please come forward. Dr. Winery will be hooding the following student. Dr. Angela Monique Overton, dissertation title, Examining Comprehension when Using a Student Reads Aloud Accommodation on Two Text Types.
Waiting for the picture. Good. By the authority that is delegated to me by the faculty and the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Education, to which you are entitled, and welcome you to this ancient and honorable company of scholars. Audience, please join me in congratulating these graduates.
Will the candidates for the Education Specialist degree please rise? Madam President, these candidates have been recommended by their faculties to receive their respective degrees upon completion of all requirements. Will the Marshal escort the candidates forward?
Dr. Susie Jans Thomas, please come forward. Dr. Thomas will be presenting for the following students. Leslie Kuyuch, Ken Baker, Melody Mae Gill, Elizabeth Smith, Dolly Smith, thank you.
By the authority that is delegated to me by the faculty and the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the Education Specialist degree to which you are entitled, and welcome you to this ancient and honorable company of scholars.
Will the candidates for the master's degrees from the College of Professional Studies please rise? Madam President, these candidates have been recommended by their faculties to receive their respective degrees upon completion of all requirements. Please escort the candidates forward.
Maria Bates.
Liz Medeiros.
Tiffany Fareed.
Sarah Sindo.
Carrie Musselwhite.
John Strickland.
Rachel Grimes.
Cecilia Finch.
Daniel Hernandez.
Brittany Griffin.
Dave Darbyshire.
Lauren McGill.
Jeremy Gans.
Mariana Ortega.
Carol Cruikshank.
Michael Escatine.
Carrie McClellan.
Thomas Martin.
Heather Blankenship, summa cum laude.
Pamela Grayega.
Dawn Connor.
Elizabeth Godwin.
Miriam McGriff.
Corey Dell.
Anna Rose Kazor.
Kimberly Nelson.
David Morgan.
Charlton Eric Esmond.
Brenda Thompson.
Vicky Pepper.
Lori Milcaris.
Anise Cromer Reed.
Catherine Langer.
Teresa Savage Purifoy.
Andrea Nutt.
Heather Body.
Stephanie Edwards.
Sue Adkins York.
Shelby Perry.
Christina Tisdale.
Shannon Spann.
Hillary Rivkind.
Angela Kennedy.
Christina Worthington.
Amy Shell, summa cum laude.
Melissa Floyd.
Michael O'Neill, magna cum laude.
Charlotte Brussell.
Ariel Ussery.
Jennifer Gardner.
Sandra Hoffa.
Roxana Ford.
Andrew Wilkerson.
Carrie Odom.
Nina Moriak.
Tia McHugh.
Courtney Ruiz.
Christina Andrus.
Annette Lord, magna cum laude.
Stacy Rathman.
Angela Ellison.
Jennifer Mann.
Roberta Kidd.
Denise Brown.
Tammy Jo Dublin, summa cum laude.
Carla Strickland.
Aileen Gibbons Newstead.
Meredith Spence.
Selena Minuras.
Nancy Whiteman.
James Patello, cum laude.
Samantha Bowlhalter.
B. Estrada.
Hazel Wells.
Andrew Gatewood, summa cum laude.
Rachel McGriff.
Lisa Chamberlain, summa cum laude.
Ashley Roche, magna cum laude.
Bernice Valenzuela.
Vanessa Laterno.
Dorotheus Bracey, cum laude.
Patrick Carlson.
Heather Dennison.
Mashonda Dixon. Francisco Daniel Acosta.
Deborah Quatrin.
Lisa Stevenson.
Amber Hightower.
David Bridge.
Leona Rudolph.
By the authority that is delegated to me by the faculty and the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the master's degree to which you are entitled and welcome you to this ancient and honorable company of scholars. Please be seated, graduates.
Will the candidates for the master's degrees from the College of Business please rise? Madam President, these candidates have been recommended by their faculties to receive their respective degrees upon completion of all requirements. Will the candidates please come forward?
Shannon Page White.
George Hendricks.
Jennifer Robida.
Douglas Welch, Jr.
Brad Reedy.
Michael Dwyer.
Timur Rakhmatov.
Kathy Edwards Nelson.
Patrick Eimers.
Sumaya Rabin.
Sonia Bowman.
Anna Covington.
Olga Danilov.
Harry LaBeouf.
Eleanor Bradley.
Jared Hall.
Calvin Wayne Crenshaw, Jr.
Sarah Newland.
Wendy Lee.
Bhavna Shetty.
Sylvia McKinney.
Yorong Liu.
Lakia McNeil.
Inan Song.
Belislava Mateva.
Robert Prudhomme. Tyler Tawari.
By the authority that is delegated to me by the faculty and the Board of Trustees, I confer now upon you a master's degree to which you are entitled and welcome you to this ancient and honorable company of scholars. Graduates, please be seated. Now I take pleasure in presenting to you the deans of the colleges who in turn will represent candidates for degrees. First, the Associate Dean of the College of Professional Studies, Dr. Karen Rasmussen.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the College of Professional Studies please rise? Madam President, these candidates have been approved and recommended by the college. Madam President, these candidates have been approved and recommended by the College of Professional Studies faculties to receive their respective baccalaureate degrees upon completion of all requirements.
Will the candidates please come forward? They're getting awful rowdy.
Caitlin Mitchell.
Lynette Worsley.
Shayla Jarman.
Erica Martinez.
Elise Jackson.
Dana Estes.
Angela Locklear.
Kaylee Salter.
Barbara Renee Wells Bedenfield.
Eric Hanna.
Darius Hendrith.
Lindsay Jordan, cum laude.
Clayton Murphy.
Laura Jensen.
Rafaela Harris, magna cum laude.
Sarah Martell.
Felicia Lakey Watts.
She said move the microphone.
Laura Dernosik.
Zinda Kona, cum laude.
Kyle Checky, cum laude.
Darian Havens, magna cum laude.
Christopher Wheeler, magna cum laude.
Jordan Townsend, magna cum laude.
Alexander Bortone, cum laude.
Terry Ballinger, magna cum laude.
Lisa Shobaki.
Alicia Matroni, summa cum laude.
Stephanie Paradisi, magna cum laude.
Nicole Brown.
Kimberly Caudle, cum laude.
Jordan Waite.
Brianne Watts, magna cum laude.
Melissa Allen, magna cum laude.
Jack Justice, magna cum laude.
Katie Trier, cum laude.
Lee Psalm, magna cum laude.
Dana Dulaney.
Heavenly Smith.
Ashley Farrow.
Lillian Dixon.
Casey Beatty, magna cum laude.
Sarah Green, summa cum laude.
Tal Wynn.
Shannon Curry, cum laude.
Vivian Gamboa.
Krista Griffin, cum laude.
Second Lieutenant Randall Kalma, United States Air Force.
Amy McCormick.
Rebecca Graves, cum laude.
Hunter Brown.
Chelsea Scott.
Matthew Christensen.
Stephen Babb.
Sydney Barrett.
Samuel Irwin.
Danielle Sims, cum laude.
Thomas Schwingle.
Richard Bennington.
Nolan G. Lang III.
Jonathan Clark.
Brianna Batts.
Emily Young.
Heather Green.
Mary Healy.
Rebecca Bath, magna cum laude.
Jennifer Jeter.
Tangela Hawkins, cum laude.
Sarah Norman.
Jeannie Guilford.
Daniela George.
Ashley Cowger.
Sarah Beckler.
Devin Elaine Gunter.
Joseph Brooks.
Lindsay McDonald.
Catherine Tempe Roy, magna cum laude.
Minnie Gail Watson, magna cum laude.
Nicole Gallagher, cum laude.
Cynthia Nicole Morey, magna cum laude.
Kaylee Foley, cum laude.
Rose Kelly.
Rachel Mock.
Annalisa Kuipert, cum laude.
Kevin Ham, magna cum laude.
Brittany Toner.
Jade Horning.
Cindy Moore.
Brianna Reyes.
Conchetta Gross, magna cum laude.
Mario Reyes.
Ashley Etier, cum laude.
Sierra Hall.
Cheryl Dixon, magna cum laude.
Brenton Hardy.
Mary Thomas, cum laude.
Keely Tritz, magna cum laude.
Danette Wallace, cum laude.
Charles Pipkin.
Kia Thomas.
Mark Cushman.
Oh my gosh, is it Kia's name already?
Shelby Duggins.
Daniel Overly.
Shelby Grimes.
Xavier Terrell.
Amy Strawn, cum laude.
Ashton Hartley, cum laude.
Kadira Carey, cum laude.
Ashley Mobley.
Krista Hatfield.
Lindsay Sullivan.
Vanessa Ritchie, cum laude.
Jasmine Stevens, cum laude.
Gianna Leano Flores.
Danielle Taylor.
Portia Rivers.
McKaylin Sweet.
Anthony Curtis Grant Sr., cum laude.
Jasmine and Weiss, cum laude.
Carla Urquhart.
Lawrence Robbins.
Kelsey Farrell.
Kerlin Joseph.
Danielle Sanford, cum laude.
Jalon Johnson.
Ronnie Sinnes.
Ashley McLean.
Kayla Muldoon.
Tiffany Duncan.
James Burke.
Mardella Jones.
Julia Carol Reed Rollman.
Stephen Herzog.
Jaylene Haramia.
Lisa Marie Daly.
Miles Smith.
Jessica Schrader.
Amy Buffett, cum laude.
Shannon Seals.
Matthew Focasio, summa cum laude.
Lindsay Miller, cum laude.
Tony Vizzini, magna cum laude.
Sherry Jackson, cum laude.
Amanda Woods.
Virginia Lines.
Rosemarie Gordon.
Brittany Cosby, cum laude.
Casey Ann Bishop.
Kenneth Richard Hartley.
Christian Stevens.
Jessica Courtney, summa cum laude.
Jordan Reeves, cum laude.
Catherine Cowan, cum laude.
Jessica Richardson.
Alexa Ann Robb.
Jennifer Dural.
Amy Jo Preston, summa cum laude.
Tracy Suggs, cum laude.
Nancy Frias.
There you go.
Got that one. Kimberly Soko, cum laude.
Jessica Cherry.
Matthew Hayes.
Beatriz Labrada.
Leah Kelly, cum laude.
Lexi Julianne Angeles.
Michelle Washburn.
Julie Walker.
Danielle Butler.
Philip Prince.
Kurt Chisholm.
Justin Shore.
Nicholas Howard.
Brian Keller.
Christopher Baldwin.
David Kirkman.
Meredith Pastuca, magna cum laude.
Sarah Bowersox, cum laude.
Dana Matson.
Ronald Ramsey.
Keisha Griffith. Sorry.
Danielle Lewis.
Tremaine Woods.
Christina McCants, cum laude.
Michael Johnson.
Michelle Moody, cum laude.
Hunter Hudson, cum laude.
Brianna Browning, cum laude.
Catherine Lee, magna cum laude.
Faith Wilkins.
Ashley Ludwig, cum laude.
Cheryl Roussel, cum laude.
Charles Dewar.
Kayla Barrow, cum laude.
Joshua Brown.
Wilma Rutherford,
Anthony.
summa cum laude.
Sorry. Anthony Chicalone. Wait, just
Jonathan Gray.
Christopher Strickland.
Lauren Rosa.
Ryan Clausen, magna cum laude.
Elizabeth Mullins.
Richard Sullivan.
Catherine Caraway.
Dallas Sullivan, cum laude.
Daniel Smith.
Brittany Palmer.
Bailey Webb.
Kevin Fennell.
Jelnicia Williams.
Ryan Day, cum laude.
Erica Ward.
Charles Britton.
Laniqua Edwards.
Bradley Foley.
Zabedi Pappas.
Christian Baldwin.
Alexandra Fields.
Brad Parrish, cum laude.
Marion Parker.
Josh Pagonis.
Noma Bork, magna cum laude.
Megan Steinacher, summa cum laude.
Ryan Jones.
Amanda Parente.
Alex Hostler, cum laude.
Courtney Corley.
Christine Ryan Horrocks.
Caitlin Arzaga, magna cum laude.
Lydia Brown, cum laude.
Joshua Deems, cum laude.
Ashley Jones, magna cum laude.
Justin Berryman.
Lauren O'Rourke.
Peter Canole, cum laude.
Tori Mason.
Amanda Jester. Amber Jester, sorry.
Brianna Hinkle.
Sarah Slack.
Shasta Howell, magna cum laude.
Shalquindra Johnson.
Vanessa Butler, cum laude.
Tina Grant Horn.
Spencer Capps.
Jessica Kelly.
Erica Solarski.
Anna Kohler.
Shelby Gaskin, cum laude.
Christopher Doorball.
Ellen Carlos.
Lance Travis Nelson.
Zachary Smith.
William Henderson.
Robin Milam.
Junior Prevolos.
John Liebernecht.
Tam Ha.
Amber Marie Wilson.
Melania Moya.
Kirsten Robinson, magna cum laude.
Camille Doche, magna cum laude.
Amy Lynn.
Got better at the end.
Jessica Hummel, cum laude. Janae McCrae. Leah Rhodes. John De La Torre. Dakota Dowling. Deliana Jukic.
Solid. Good. We got all the business. It's like 40.
By the authority that is delegated to me by the faculty and the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the bachelor's degree to which you are entitled, and all the rights and privilege and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Congratulations, graduates. And now the Dean of the College of Business, Dr. Ed Rinelli.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the College of Business please rise? Okay, this is your moment. Madam President, these candidates have been approved and recommended by the College of Business faculty to receive their baccalaureate degrees upon completion of all requirements.
Good practice for fall. I'll recommend it.
Joyce Gunn, cum laude.
Jeremy Jadala.
William Zolke, magna cum laude.
Jasmine Hicks.
Chris Jeffries.
Denis DeRousse.
Christopher Bonin.
Christopher Salt.
Samantha Schockner.
Kenneth Melvin.
Jennifer Hodson.
Michael Fosnot.
Joe Nutwell, really.
Joe Nutwell.
Deborah Miller.
Hunter Grimes.
Laura Lynn Brady.
Jamie Lee Grimes.
Taryn Hunsucker.
Daniela Gonzalez, magna cum laude.
Nadia Ravenku.
Elizabeth Scott.
Ariane Pruitt.
Daniel Mages.
Jessica Lopez.
Second Lieutenant Preston McIntosh.
Jennifer Babb.
Kendrick Tan.
Olga Lewis.
Victor Ribeiro.
Miatalia Lowe.
Robert Hardy.
Michael Newsom.
Jordan Willenberg.
Bruno Carvalho.
Tanner Furr.
Jose Vidal.
Jacob Tuart.
Tiana K. Kep.
Eric Viquelia.
Jamie Costa.
Justin Peak.
Catherine Steck.
Megan Bobo.
Mark Adams, magna cum laude.
Jordan Clark.
Abraham McKeel, magna cum laude.
Kimberly Harden.
Robert Mitchell Stanford.
Andrea Lorraine Zierden.
Joshua Fenton, magna cum laude.
Caitlin Newby.
Kyler O'Green, cum laude.
Brittany Hutton.
Brandon McGillicuddy.
Lauren Battaglia, cum laude.
Alexander Bates.
Michael Egan, cum laude.
Kyle Zebanowski.
Marisol Davis.
Denard Davis.
Taryn Hotchkiss.
Jarvis Williams.
Allison Fredericks, magna cum laude.
Edward Walter Jr.
Brianna Fair.
Jeremy Pagaligan.
Sophia Ebanks.
John Williamson.
Adam Hunt.
Edward Mraz, magna cum laude.
Jordan Rizzo.
Monique Hayes.
Chelsea Wilson, cum laude.
Joannis Larry.
Jordan Reyes, cum laude.
Jared Moore.
Patrick Stepina Inhoke.
Gemma Owen.
Robert Inhoke Van Riper.
John Michael Machinsky.
Richard Davis II.
Nicole Peterson.
Kevin Ray Diebolt.
Misty Clark.
Marcia Stokes.
Margaret Irabino.
Brianna Henderson.
Kevin Hayes.
Jacqueline March, cum laude.
Whitney Bourne.
Carolina Sonnervig.
Matthew Boonmass, cum laude.
Manuel Alfredo Bernardez.
Michael Ryan Buck.
Kenneth Dixon, cum laude.
Zachary Hill, cum laude. Andrew Edwards.
You're killing that one. You killed, oh,
Ludmila Devmir. Aaron Hawtrey.
By the authority that is delegated to me by the faculty and the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the bachelor's degree to which you are entitled, and extend to you all of the honors, rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Congratulations, graduates. Now, all you new bachelor's graduates, one of the rights and the privileges of the bachelor's degrees is wearing the tassel on the left. It's a university tradition that we now pause to change the position of your tassel from the right to the left. All right. Gotta have it on the right side. Now, at this time, I would like for you to join me in thanking our faculty, whose love of knowledge gives heart to the university. I ask that all the faculty in the house please stand to be recognized. Thank you. I'd also like to thank our dedicated staff for their contribution in making this commencement possible. Staff, you get a hand. Now, if everyone would please rise for our alma mater and remain standing until the platform party, the faculty, and the graduates have left the floor. The words to the alma mater are on the back of the program.